I am really interested in something I saw you wrote on LinkedIn, actually. You probably don't get on there a whole lot, but
I do not. I do not.
yeah, you have 30 connections total on LinkedIn. So that means you don't use it a whole lot. It's my best platform.
Really? Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, makes sense. But you wrote a book, correct?
Yeah.
And one of the things that you put in the introduction of the book was the symbolic and literal role of a cheeseburger in shaping identity, comfort, and joy.
Yeah, the original. We just released the book last week, so it hasn't been a week yet. But the original title of the book was The Shaggy Story, and the release coincided with the 20th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, and our town was completely wiped out.
Which town was that?
That's Pascagoula, Mississippi. That's on the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Okay.
And so we decided to, instead of hitting the easy button and maybe moving 200 miles away to another beach town, we decided to stay and help rebuild, because we're probably blessed with more resources and um, leadership skills and business skills than most others in town. We just felt it was our obligation to stay. And along the way, we accidentally opened the first Shaggy's. All right. And we did it to bring comfort to, we did it for the people. We actually, the business model, which doesn't sound like a very profitable one, was to build a restaurant for the people, to comfort the people, to provide a place where people could come and feel better about themselves and have hope, because we lost all that in the storm. And that certainly was the farthest thing from my mind, was wanting to start a restaurant. I had just sold my software services company. So we started this restaurant based on, let's do it for the people, to bring comfort and hope to our people in our community. And the interesting thing is, it was wildly successful. So the book is about how we accidentally started this, but we stuck to our mission for 20 years. And the word profit never came into the picture. It was always, let's just keep doing this. Let's do it for the community, and let's focus on our employees and our people. And then when I got towards the end of the book, we're a waterfront seafood restaurant, but no matter what time frame you run a test, the cheeseburger is always the #1 bestseller. It's our bestseller always. So I named my boat the Cheeseburger. It's a 60-foot sport fisherman. And as I got towards the end of the book, I just felt that the name of the book, The Shaggy Story, was just kind of lame. So it just kind of struck me that, the impact we had on our community through our culture is very, it's very similar to the feeling you get when you eat a cheeseburger. So it became a metaphor. We built a place to make people, bring people comfort and happiness, make them feel better about themselves. And ironically, that's kind of how you feel when you eat the cheeseburger. So that's a big part of our culture.
Well, let me ask you a really random question, though. How many cheeseburgers do you eat a day? Because you don't look like you eat very many.
That's my cheat. Yeah, I try to be heart healthy, and I just got through. I work out every single day, and I just can't really afford to eat that many cheeseburgers. When I do, I enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm the same. I don't know anybody who doesn't like cheeseburgers, to be honest.
Well, and that's kind of the point. It's a universal symbol of love. The food. It's cheeseburger, and that's kind of defines who we are as our culture and our people and what we stand for. is trying to make people feel better. And you can either come to our restaurants and experience it through our culture, or you can be part of the community and experience it through our contributions to the community, or you can just eat a cheeseburger and the feelings are the same.
So how many locations do you have across the US?
We have five, we just have 5 locations.
Okay.
And one of the things that I think makes us different from the multi-unit competitors and locations in our region is that we don't get caught up by how many locations we have. And we see it so many times. We're going to open 2 more next year. We're going to open, we're growing, right? We own our real estate. We developed all of our locations from the ground up. And we decided to expand on the footprint that we have, all right? Example, our Biloxi location is it's a monster. And there are times when we would go on a wait there 4 hours. And we just said, why go to somewhere like Mobile, Alabama and open a new location when we have a second restaurant right here? You know, we have a demand for it. So each of our location, we did what was good and fitting for that location and unique. And like our Biloxi location, we expanded, we added a new bar, we put a bar downstairs, we added a kitchen. And our 5 locations since 2019 has grown 60% in revenue. So the company grew 60% without adding a location. And it's worked for us. And what we find too is that 60% organic growth, and that versus expansion through adding new locations is a hell of a lot more efficient and less expensive.
Right, because your cost of goods probably aren't going up that much.
Cost of goods stay the same. Labor goes way down because we don't need as many people. I need 1 manager instead of 2, right? So we scaled our team. We didn't scale 100%, or we didn't scale 60%. We probably scaled 20% and raised sales 60%. So it's made us a very solid company with a very unique culture, different than anything you've ever seen in the restaurant business. And that just grew out of us deciding to, if we're going to make people happy, they want to come in and we make them happy, our employees have to be happy. And we spend a lot of time in researching and trying different things. And I think we have it now to where, the average tenure for a restaurant employee is 75 days. For us, it's 3 years.
Wow.
And when you get them there for 3 years, your mistakes go down. The time you need to train goes down. Your loyalty goes up. And it helps produce that end product that we've been trying to do for 20 years and have been doing is, you come to a restaurant, their goal is to make sure that you leave happier than when you came in.
For sure. And how many full-time employees do you guys have right now?
We have 500.
Oh my.
Yeah, we'll serve 1 million people this year in all 5 locations.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what's your role? Are you more like the CEO still, or have you stepped back in the operational side of things and turned it over to somebody else?
Yeah, there's only 2 of us. Rimmer Covington Jr. and he's 20 years younger than me, and we got him to the point he wanted to run the company. It's like, great, you're just not ready yet. And we worked really hard for 3 years and got him to the point to where he was ready, and he took over. And I was kind of halfway there the first year, and the second year I'm not there. We talk sometimes daily, sometimes once every 2 weeks, but just to the point where I was the founder of the company. And in the book I talk about, I think the biggest achievement in business is if you can find someone better than you to take your place and allow you to walk away. And that's what I did. And now I'm spending my time blue marlin fishing. I just got off the phone with him, and I'm going in a week, and he goes, all right, if it heats up, this is the deal. If it heats up, he comes and joins me. So he's a prolific fisherman. He's once a deep sea fishing guide. So it allows me to kind of live a life more freedom, and gave me time to write the book. So
Yeah, now tell me about your family life, because it sounded like when you were talking about starting the company, you kept mentioning we, and I assume that's a family member or your wife or somebody close to you.
my wife, Laura, and our dogs. We never had kids.
Okay.
I think we love kids. I'm a Catholic, good Catholic boy, but we got married. We got married when we were 30, and over 10 years, I did over 1 million miles with Delta in the software world. We just kept putting it off. I just one day just woke up and said, we're probably too old. Let's contribute some other way. And that's what we chose to do. But it was she and I and our dogs.
Gotcha. So I like talking about family. I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Some people call us Mormons. That's the most common religion here in Utah.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of respect for anybody who is religious in general, no matter what it is, and who's willing to talk about it as well. So I instantly have an even greater level of respect for you, since you just casually brought it up. A lot of people don't. And I appreciate
I agree with you. It's like, I don't understand how you could be a good Catholic or a good Mormon without respecting the Jewish faith, or the Baptist, or whatever it may be. I completely agree with you, and I think that I hate to see like religious wars and people fighting about who's right. And it's like, hey, I love my church, and this is what I I didn't choose it, but at some point in my life I could have changed it, and it's just I feel I'm a faithful person, and I put God first, and it's important. My faith is important to me.
Yeah, I can tell. It comes across, and it's no surprise then that the way that you run and founded Shaggy's was more about serving people, because that's the Christ-like thing to do. And as a Catholic and a Christian, we believe in Jesus Christ and that he's the ultimate example of how to be a man in this world.
Well, you'll appreciate this. We always bring up this little story when we do something for someone and they don't appreciate it, right? It's if you're trying to help people, the one expectation you have to get past is that not everyone is going to appreciate what you do, and it's not going to, the seed is not going to grow for everyone, right? So you help people, and we help someone, we expect them to appreciate it. They don't, right? And so we always use the Jesus healed 10 lepers. They walked away.
Only
One. So Jesus's track record was he got 10% of people to appreciate him. Why would me and you expect any more than a 10% batting average? And that always helps us to smile and just remind us that, hey, it's the way humans are.
Yeah, and kids are a funny group to add into that mix. But from my experience, I only have two kids. My oldest is 18, and he's about to leave on his 2-year church service mission to Germany. And then my daughter is almost 15. And so I feel like I'm batting 50% with these guys, because my son is very grateful for everything. I make him lunch every day. I've been married for 20 years, but I'm the one that makes the food and does a lot of the chores around our house, even though I'm the one that also provides for our family too. I just like doing physical acts of service, and my son has always really appreciated that every day. Like we never really told our kids this is the rule. You always say thank you. But he's just done that his whole life. And my daughter, she struggles with showing that gratitude. It doesn't come naturally.
Yeah, my business partner has two kids, 10 and 12, and we spend a lot of time with them since the day they're born. They call us, uncle and aunt. And I think I got to think he's probably batting 500, saying, but over the years it switched, right? It was son appreciates you, that but I see the same thing in his children.
Yep. Yeah, and I love how unique all children and all people are. I'm so glad we're not all built the same exact way.
Yeah.
And I much appreciate all the differences that exist, but I think it just brings us potentially closer together at the same time. So one or two more questions
Okay.
while we have time. The one I always ask all my guests, and people answer this in so many different ways. So there's no preconceived notion on how to answer this. But as we're getting to the end of 2025, a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners and founders that I know are starting to think about their 2026 goals and visions and plans and things. So for you, Ron, what is your vision for 2026, for your 2026?
I think this is where I'm going to be very different from your other guests. We don't look at things by years. It means nothing to me. 2025, 2026. It's just tomorrow, right? What can we do today to get better? And what we're doing today is we've purchased in 3 of our locations. We've purchased a property next door to us, and we're creating a bigger venue. So we're doing even more than we've done since 2019, and we don't measure ourselves annually. We're very tied in to the business in a digital way. I hear people, "How you guys doing?" We'll close out the month in a couple of days, and it's going to take the accountant a week to get back to me, and that floors me, right? I can tell you in 30 minutes what our sales were last night, every single day, how we compared to the previous year. I have all that information on a daily basis, and it allows us to make decisions before we have problems and make changes.
So your background is in software, you said, right?
Yeah.
And so are you using a particular kind of software to do all this tracking for you? Or did you guys build it internally?
No, we have no proprietary platforms or software. We're just open to it. The thing is, and I write about this in the book, I remember this was before COVID. There was a review, and I loved it. The guy said, "Great food, great service, efficient place, love the view. It looks like a ex-software guy may have maybe given it a shot at the restaurant," because the guy knows, right? It's not about implementing or adopting technology. It's about having your people accept the change. And that's one of the things we learned in the software world. There was, we created software for people, but it rarely went into production because the employees refused, they rejected it, right? So you don't have to be, we look at it as we don't have to build our own software. Everything exists. You just have to get your people excited about accepting change. And I'm going to give you one good example. I didn't understand when we got in the restaurant business why everybody went to a central POS to take my order and go put it in. So we were an early adopter to technology with handhelds, okay? And so they take the order right there at the table, right? So we're much more efficient. And when we first rolled it out, what we found is they were still taking the order on the old pad, and then they'd walk in the corner and enter it into the tablet, right? Because they resisted change. That's the only way they knew how to do it. And we sold them on giving it a shot. And now, if you took that away from them, there'd probably be a revolt in our restaurant. So a lot of the book is, I address change, and it's not about, we try to stay away from forecasting. You know, it's changing, and it's something we every day. It's like, is there a way to do this better? And now we have our people bought into change, and so we're able to adopt new technologies, new ways of doing things, to change on the fly. And these are daily. We look at these things daily, not yearly or next year.
Well, and I think that's a smart way to do it if you've got the ability to have that level of insight into your data.
Yeah.
That's hard to do, especially at an organization of your size. I mean, you're definitely not like a large enterprise, but you're bigger than a lot of small businesses that are locally owned and operated. At least as far as people I've talked to. I'm no expert on company sizes or anything. And so I'm curious. And this question is sort of a selfish one because uh, part of the thing I do on the side is I do some investing. And so that means I have conversations about health insurance quite a lot because I invested in a health insurance company. And I'm trying to build that health insurance company. And one of the things our sales guys bump into is helping HR leaders understand that there's a tipping point, I guess, for when it's worth changing and looking at changing health benefits. And I know that's a really dry, boring subject for a podcast, but when you have a lot of people working for you, lots of them are going to have health problems one way or the other, and they care deeply about their health benefits. So I'm curious, what kind of health benefits do you give your employees, given that you think about them probably more than the average business owner would?
Yeah, this is kind of a deep answer,
Okay.
but health is just not uh, physical disease or injury. That's not
Correct.
what it's got the mental piece of it as well. And the research and internal studying that we've done, we came to a conclusion many years ago that, going back to our mission, that if you come into my restaurant and I want you to be happier, feel better about yourself, and I want you to leave feeling happier than when you came in, my employee has to also feel that way. All right. And the very first thing we do to help them get into that state of mind is you have to make sure that you fix all their problems at home. And that could be a financial issue, that could be a health issue. And so we help them out financially, right, to get them in a better state of mind. And it's not always I give you money. It's like, I got all these parking tickets and it has me stressed out. Well, then stressing out becomes the not only a problem, but it also creates physical problems. So we do whatever we can to help fix their problems at home. And health is a big deal. And we provide health insurance for all of our employees. We split the bill. They pay half and we pay half. So they all have health insurance. The other thing we did is 2 years ago, we started a 401k plan and a matching piece of it. And we match up to 4% of whatever they put into it. Okay. No, actually, it ends up being almost 100%, up to 4%. Right. And today we have $600,000 in that account. And that doesn't sound like a ton of money, but for a restaurant group with 2 years, and half of that 300 is what Rimmer and I matched. Okay. So those investments, they're very, very expensive. Health insurance is very, very, very expensive. The 401k match is very expensive, but we're getting the results out of performance, loyalty, service, and that's how you justify the payment for those different plans, in our opinion.
Yeah, and I think that's accurate. And I'm not saying this from personal experience, but of the groups I've helped, I personally have sold policies for hundreds of employees, and it it has that positive impact. When employees are happy mentally, happy at home, they just perform better at work too. There's a direct correlation statistically.
And most of these people, you know, in my industry, not in the software industry, but in my industry, most of these people were raised without health insurance, you know, in broken families. And so they they have experienced ailments in their life that they could never get help for or treatment. And now we put them in a position where, hey, I've been needing to take that drug, but I didn't have the money for it. Or I've been needing to have this procedure. Now I can go do it. I can get my teeth fixed now. And it's not only for us, it's not only this great feeling you get because you're helping your employees. It's a great feeling that you're helping a person. And we kind of you know, frame it that way. We're helping people. They just happen to be our employees.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool. Uh, I I would love to keep chatting with you some more, actually, but I don't have time on this particular podcast. So thank you so much for your time today, Ron. I know you're a busy guy with all the marlin fishing and trying to keep that company operating with your awesome mission. And I hope one day that I can share a cheeseburger with you at some point when I get over to that area of the country.
Well, until you can get here, you can read the book. The whole story's there, and you can find more information. It's ronladner.com. www.ronladner.com. And
Perfect.
it's a rundown on the book and where you can buy it.
Great. I'll put a link to that in the episode description as
Okay.
well, so people
I
can.
enjoyed talking to you.
Yeah, thank you. And I'll send you the raw files and everything. So if any of your editors want to
Sure.
flip it up or do whatever, it'll be sent later today.
Okay. Thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks, Ron.
Take
Bye.
care. Peace.